1. Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Janae Forshee, and today we're going to talk about technology advances in call routing solutions for contact centers. So I'd really like to just start off by saying technology plays an important role in contact centers today, specifically for contact centers. We're going to cover some topics today that's really going to go through what we have to offer with contact centers. We're also going to talk about the advancements and how they help contact centers operate efficiently and effectively while managing their costs. Technology allows contact centers to be able to impact the industry, allowing small and medium businesses to take advantage of solutions that are out there. So what we're going to cover is we're going to cover a brief history in the call center industry. We're going to talk about where the ACD actually came from and how that evolved into contact centers. We're going to talk about computer telephony integration and email, all big key players in technology advancements in contact centers. We're also going to talk about the network, how it's actually set up and how it works with the contact center world, so that you can see the costs of ownership that are involved with actually owning equipment versus going with some of the other solutions that are now available. We're also going to take a look at the new technologies that are available. We're going to take a look at a hosted solution versus using software as a service, which is also known as the on-demand software. So taking a look at call center history. Back in the early 70s, a guy named Rockwell International developed the first ACD for Continental Airlines. And an ACD is an automatic call distributor, and what that does is that allows companies to be able to distribute calls to their staff evenly based off a specific skill that they have. So if I know everything about our billing system and I know how to answer questions about that, this new device is going to be able to route all of the billing calls to somebody skilled such as myself. So that's what he did. By the late 70s, the airlines really became the first adopters of contact centers. So they are really what started the whole trend. A contact center being a group of people that are sitting around answering calls for customer inquiries. By the early 90s, a device called CTI becomes popular in the industry. So call centers, computer telephony integration is what that stands for. That's what allows companies to be able to integrate their call routing system, so the ACD type functionality, with their telephone system. So some of you may have called into businesses where you get an IVR response where you're prompted to press 1 for a menu item like billing or customer service. And when you do that, information you may be asked to put in your account information. When you type in your account information over the phone, the CTI functionality allows the information to be captured from the database for that company and then populated to the agent's their desktop. So in some cases, you may have talked to companies where you spoke with agents and they already have your account populated on their screen. Where they can say, "Hi, Mrs. Forshee, thank you for calling ABC Company today." So that's where the CTI piece became popular, and that really helped minimize the agent's job. By the late 90s, emails became popular and an inexpensive way for companies to be able to start communicating with their customer base. At this point, rather than handling phone calls, they offered that option out for customers to be able to send them emails based off of their inquiries rather than having to worry about always calling in on the phone. Today, there are more than 55,000 call centers in North America alone. This is employing more than 6 million people, and that's 6% of our workforce. So call centers are really important in today's society. So in doing that, I really want to talk about the network and how the calls actually get to the agent. If I were to purchase equipment for all of the technologies that I just talked about in our timeline, the ACD, the CTI capability, email, IVR, which is the ability to have message prompts at the beginning of my phone number, so when you call an 800 number, I can ask you to press 1 for this menu item or 2 for that. That's the IVR capabilities. All of those pieces in our little graph here take up a separate piece of equipment, all costing a lot of money for companies. So I can go through and I would have to purchase a separate piece of equipment in order to have something communicate with my database. I would have to purchase a separate piece of equipment to do my skills-based routing for my ACD. If I wanted to have email, again, it would require a separate piece of equipment in my infrastructure. as well as my IVR type capabilities. All of those things require separate pieces of equipment. Now, it's not just about the cost of purchasing the equipment. Even if I can afford the cost of the equipment, what about the maintenance fees and upgrading and software updates? So all of these things need to be able to work within my internal infrastructure. I'm going to need to set this equipment up to be able to talk to each other as well so that it communicates effectively within my system. So it's not just about the purchase costs that are associated with owning equipment. It's about the network and the infrastructure and the maintenance behind all of that. It's also about the staff. I'm going to have to hire a staff of people to maintain all of that equipment for me. Put it in a room. Somebody may have to be certified in a specific brand to be able to handle that type of equipment. So all of these things together are going to cost me money as a business owner. So with that being said, that's really limited the businesses out there to be able to take advantage of those types of technologies when you're looking at being able to populate account information and have an IVR system on my phone and be able to use skills-based routing. So I want to talk about the solutions that are available using the new developments in technology. I can go with a hosted solution. A hosted solution is a license-based software. It's going to allow, it's handled and supported by a third party, so I don't have to worry about paying somebody to support and maintain all of the licenses for me. And this is a really good software solution if I just have one location for my business. So if I'm just located here in Salt Lake City, this is a good place. If I'm not planning on growing or moving my location anywhere else, then this is a good type of solution that I can use. I also have SaaS. Also known as, it's the acronym for Software as a Service, also known as an on-demand type technology. This technology is based off of a single set of common code, and it's basically a software solution that's sold on a pay-for-use subscription model. So I'm only going to pay for what I actually use here. This type of solution is going to allow me to grow my business, and it's going to scale to that growth, either up or down. So if I plan on adding 50 more employees, as I add them, I can scale them within my organization. It's flexible, and I can do that at a moment's notice, so I don't have to worry about hiring somebody to go in and make that adjustment or that code change within that equipment like I would with a premise-based solution. I also can customize these types of applications to fit my need. I may not have to use all of the features and functionality that comes with a software as a service solution, but it's all out there and I can customize them in a way, in a design that meets the needs of my business solution. Software as a service is also an internet-based application, so it's easy to implement. I don't have to install any type of software, and it can be anywhere I have internet connection is where it can actually be set up on the computer, so it doesn't really require any sort of special setup requirements. And it supports multi-location, so as long as I have the internet connectivity, I can set up users and they can connect to the application using the internet connection. And the best part of it is that the solution provider supports everything. All the version control is done through the solution provider. I don't have to worry about the maintenance or wear and tear on hiring specific people specialized to handle this type of solution. So in review, I want to talk about, contact centers are important in today's society and in today's business world. The cost of ownership when you're looking at equipment, it can be expensive and can be cost consuming for businesses. There are small and medium businesses out there that would never be able to afford those type of solutions and might be on some sort of a wish list somewhere. The SaaS and hosted solutions are affordable solutions that are going to help me revolutionize the way that I do business. It's going to help some of the small and medium-sized businesses be able to take advantages of those new technologies. And now these companies are able to compete with some of the other companies who have been able to afford the premise-based equipment models by using these types of solutions. What questions do you have for me today that I can answer?
What's the difference between hosted and SaaS?
A hosted solution is a solution that somebody goes out and purchases a license-based software. And it's usually used for somebody, if I'm only going to set up a single location, so if I just have one building and I'm going to buy licenses for something, that's a hosted solution. Still supported by a third party, but it's a solution that's available to me so where I'm not supporting it. Software as a service is a solution to where I'm just going to pay on a subscription-based model. I get all the features and functionality that's out there that I can just customize and mix and match them the way that's going to fit the needs of my business. And it's all internet-based.
So can companies use a hosted or SaaS solution with existing equipment?
Absolutely they can. The nice thing about a SaaS solution is that this is going to, because it's internet-based and it's so customizable and flexible, that I can overlay and integrate this with my current existing premise-based equipment. So I can mix and match those things and have them operate together with the ability to customize that way. Are there any other questions that I can answer for you today? Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.